Hey boys and girls, and welcome to another ELA lesson. We're going to get started going over with our sight words, go over some of our phonics with our S blends. We've been talking about SCR, which says scr, like scrub, screen, and screech. And then SPR, spr, such as sprout, spring, and sprang. And today we're going to talk about STR and SPL. Then we're going to go over Hooray for Waddy Wat, and we're going to go over how he felt at the beginning of the story compared to the end of the story. And then we are going to talk a little bit about personal narratives. So let me make sure everything's set up. All right, first word. This is the word inside. INSIDE, inside. I teach inside the school, or we need to stay inside because it's raining. This is the word act, A-C-T, act. She put on an act that she was feeling okay when she really wasn't. I don't know, act. Last word, playground, P-L-A-Y-G-R-O-U-N-D, playground. I cannot wait to go outside for recess and play on the playground. Go outside to recess on the playground. So playground. Alrighty. So I did say that we were learning about these two S blends. We have SCR, which says scr, and then we have SPR, which says spr. Okay. So we did talk about those two yesterday. Okay. Today we're going to talk about two more. So we're going to talk about, make sure my cards are lined up so you can see. We have STR, so str. Okay, str. Okay, str. So, str. For words like string, string, string. For words like strike, strike, strike. For words like stripe, stripe, stripe. For words like stroke, stroke, stroke. For words like strong, strong, strong. For words like street, street, street. Stream, stream, stream. Stray, stray, stray. And straw, straw, straw. Now our next words are going to be spl. So we just had str. Now we have spl. Okay. So we have spl, 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 spl. Okay. For words like, and there's not as many of these, spl. For words like split, split, split. Splat, splat, splat. And splash, splash, splash. Okay, so those are our two phonics patterns for today. Now, for Hooray for Waddy Wat, I wasn't going to play the story again because you do have it attached to your lesson, and I would like you to read it again with your lesson. But I'd like to go over how Waddy felt at the beginning of the story and how he was at the end of the story. Okay, so we're really thinking about those inside traits. Woo, I need a new marker. This one's almost gray, and it's a black marker. So we're really thinking about those inside traits. We're thinking about his feelings, his actions, what he does, what he says, what are his thoughts that are going on. So we're really thinking about that. Now, thinking about how he felt at the beginning of the story, we know that Rodney could not say his R's, right? And all the kids would do what to him? They would pick on him, right? They would pick on him because he couldn't say his R's. So since they would pick on him, I would say that we could say he was sad, upset, ashamed, right? He was sad, upset, ashamed, maybe discouraged is a good word. Maybe he was discouraged. Maybe he was discouraged. What else? Embarrassed. Embarrassed, right? Yep, embarrassed. Sad, upset, ashamed, discouraged, embarrassed. What else? He was really shy, right? He was really shy. He was really timid. He didn't really want to talk to anyone because of he couldn't say his R's, right? So he had trouble with his speech sounds. And a lot of people have trouble with their speech sounds. Growing up, my sister had trouble with her speech. My nephew has trouble with his speech. I think my brother-in-law had trouble with his speech. I have cousins. It's just sometimes it's hard to say certain sounds and words, and that's okay. But in this story, Rodney couldn't say his R's, so he would say Wadney Watt and wake the leaves, right? So at the beginning, he was sad, upset, ashamed, discouraged, embarrassed, shy, and timid. Okay, and I would say at the end of the story, okay, inside traits, I would say at the end, he was very, maybe he was excited. Man, I'm going to need to throw this one away too. He was excited, okay. He was excited. Oh, he was a little bit proud, right? Because all the kids, he was happy. We can put some of those words on here. He was happy, excited, proud, happy. He was joyful, right? Right? He felt good about himself, right? So he had some self-love going on because all the kids were super excited that he made Camilla the capybara go away, right? So at the beginning, he was sad, upset, ashamed, discouraged, embarrassed, shy, and timid because all the kids picked on him and he was afraid of Camilla the capybara, right? But then at the end of the story, he was super excited and proud and happy and joyful, and he had a lot of self-love. He had confidence. I didn't even say confidence. He had newfound confidence because all the kids were so excited because he made all the kids knew that he was saying go rest, but he said go west because he couldn't say his R's. And then Camilla Capybara went west and never returned again. And then he was a big hero, right? So those are some inside traits for both how he felt at the beginning and how he felt at the end of the story. Okay, now I would like to quickly go over difficulty with erasing. I would like to quickly go over about things with personal narrative. So we've talked about when we're talking about personal narrative, we're talking about a story that's about us. So we're talking about a personal narrative. We're talking about a story that's about us, right? We've talked about ways to write a clever introduction, clever intro, okay? We've talked about your big idea, okay? And today, what I want you to take from your big idea is I want you to pull 4 main details that happen from your story. So, for example, if my big idea is I got a puppy, one big detail could say it was my birthday. Another detail could be unwrapped all the presents. And there was no puppy. And this can just be like notes. It doesn't have to be complete sentences yet because we're not getting into writing what happened then beginning, middle, and end yet. We're just giving some details. So it was my birthday. I unwrapped all the presents and there wasn't a puppy. Dad brought out a surprise. Okay. And then here I could say, I heard woof woof. Okay. So this would be detail 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I don't know if you noticed, I went in order. Okay. So it's just just details about your story. So if you went to the beach and, you went to the beach and your start of your introduction is, ow, that hurt. Okay. We were going to the beach this weekend. That could be a detail. I was so excited to go swim in the water and I didn't realize it, but when I stepped into the water, I stepped on something hard and pointy. Okay. I pulled my foot out real quick. I ran onto the shore. And then what followed me was the cutest little baby crab. And he came over to boot me and say hello. Simple, personal narrative, just a couple of details. So when you're writing your details, they don't have to be complete sentences. I just want them to be kind of the ideas of how you're going to lay out your story. Kind of what happened first, next, then last. But you want to bring out the most important details from your story. So that's just a little bit more with our personal narrative. That is all I have for you today for your ELA lesson, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys. I miss having live lessons with you. Hopefully next week. Bye, friends.